It's just about that time of the week. Time for the Weekly Weebs Podcast. Grab your friends, family, waifus, and husbandos, and join your favorite weebs for an exciting show of anime talk. Hosts Crimson, Frenchie, Wigwiki, and Zerio Machini will review and suggest shows, talk about news from the industry, and tackle some of the biggest arguments in the world of anime. It's the Weekly Weebs Podcast, starting now.
Weekly Weebs Podcast!
Somehow that was more understandable than your last open.
Yeah. This is me, Wigwiki, from the Weekly Weebs Podcast, and today we're going to be doing our anime review for an anime that we just watched from Frenchie's assignment. Frenchie, take it away.
So Akira. This movie was not as good as I remembered.
Nope.
I still think it is a good film, and I do still enjoy it because there's a lot of really cool shit to it. Mm-hmm. But it does not hold up as well as I remembered.
No.
Because it's been like 6 years since I've watched it. But Akira is still a fucking movie that has a special place in anime lore. Mm-hmm. Because it is, and Zeri and I talked about this a little bit, and they call it Neo Tokyo, right, in the movie?
Yeah.
It is one of the first, kind of a cyberpunk futuristic city type environments. And to me, it really feels like an anime version of Batman Beyond.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Even some of the explosions and stuff felt like it was the same animation and sound effects out of Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
But that dark futuristic city and stuff like that really gave me Batman Beyond vibes. But I believe this came first. Because Batman Beyond I think was mid-90s and this came out in the late 80s.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
This is 1988?
I believe so. But this movie is attributed with being one of the major things that brought anime to the West. Like this and Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon. I don't know
how this did that much.
Well, it was just the impact it had itself on film. Because, the infamous motorcycle slide.
I don't even fucking remember where that was in the movie.
That was the beginning.
Yeah, it's coming with him, just on a street, sliding it out. But that is I believe, the first registered use of that animation and modeling. And then that has become especially movies like Blaze Runner and stuff, or not Blaze Runner, Blade Runner. That type of gritty and futuristic type feel. That is such a big type of mood to use. And this, I think, kind of inspired a lot of that. So it's not necessarily with animation or with film, anime fans itself. Plus, it was another monster movie that was huge during that time. This movie was insanely popular when it first came out. It just doesn't carry forward as much as some of the other classic ones like Studio Ghibli and stuff like that.
I think the other issue is that this was a rated R movie. So at the time, it also had a very specific group it was going towards.
You used the Akira slide in everything.
I'm not going.
If there's something animated with a motorcycle in it, they probably have the slide.
Sometimes it's not even a motorcycle.
Sometimes it's a body.
Yeah, no, literally.
Oh shit.
Sometimes sometimes it was just a person who.
Was that a fucking horse?
Yeah.
I need to know that one. I need to know where the horse slide came from.
I just like the horse sliding and almost fucking falling at the end. Got me good.
I mean, in all honesty, I was not a big fan of this movie. I get that it changed anime in the West, but it was not. It does not hold up compared to when it was released. Mm. I did not enjoy it. I thought it was mid at best.
I liked it.
I also liked it, but I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Mm. I want to rewatch it.
You're gonna have to though.
I know.
And Erica's gonna hate it.
She's gonna.
Why did you have to? Because of the thing.
The post-it I have, yeah. It's fucking on there.
I definitely enjoyed it once I started thinking about some things about it and oh, okay, this is what they're talking about. When you had the question about you wish they would explain more about what Akira was or what was going on.
Yeah. It's a really deep movie, honestly.
It can be. I feel like I have to watch it more than once to understand a lot of the themes that they're playing with.
And I think Zario has a more in-depth analysis on it, more likely, because he usually does.
I'm super excited to hear what he has to say.
Yeah. Plus, I think he's seen this movie multiple times.
There's a lot of things that really piss me off about the movie. It's mainly just throughout the entire movie, because once I noticed it...
Is it the kids? The way they look?
They were ugly as fuck.
Yeah, they looked like zombies.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Ugly ass fucking children. Gross. No, but it wasn't them.
Benjamin Button looking
It was,
motherfuckers.
Well, it involved them too, technically, yes. But it was the way their mouths moved when they talked.
Oh.
This was a terrible one with script and dialogue in terms of the way their mouths moved.
Yeah.
In terms of you'd hear them talk and then their mouths would be off sync so much.
Yeah.
For the English dub.
I won't fault them too much for that, given the era of when it was first released and everything.
They've still been dubbing prior to that forever. They do their best.
Yeah.
In terms of that, but it's just with them. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it in the original language so I can see how it matches up with the way they move. But you can only do so much in terms of translation and making sure English words match up with the words of the way mouse moves.
Yeah.
But once I noticed it though, I'm taken out hard, and it was like that throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't really fault them too much because there's only so much you could do.
Yeah.
At the same time, I noticed it every time.
It was noticeable enough to bother you.
Yeah. And the artwork of some of these guys' big ass foreheads. That fucking threw me off too, and then annoyed me a little bit.
I did not.
Big foreheads, fucking that one guy that had the powers with the red cape, Tetsuo or whatever his name is.
Yeah, yeah.
His forehead fucking was outrageously large for no fucking reason.
Other than because of the art style.
Yeah, I didn't really fuck with art style a lot when it comes to the people and the bodies. I didn't fuck with the art style. But when it comes to the atmosphere and the
world itself,
the classroom that they were in, I felt like it was beautifully designed in our style. The streets and all that stuff, like the opening scene when that guy's walking into that bar down in the bar in the very beginning.
Yeah,
that whole scene and that vibe, I fuck with that. That art style, that stuff. But most of the character design for the art style, the way they were drawing stuff, I just was taken out for that also.
It wasn't the best. But
the design of the town and the atmosphere and the art was fucking good.
Yeah. Well, that was a quick review.
What do you mean? There were some way more things, like how gruesome this show was.
It's very gruesome. One of the things that also stands out to me is just the political maneuvering and shit in it, with everyone trying to gain power in case another Akira incident, and them trying to. My favorite part is them there hasn't been an Akira incident in over 20 years. We can't just keep preparing like there's going to be another one. 3 days later,
another one. I mean, 20 years, in retrospect, for that kind of an event to have happened is not that long.
Cole, it's been 80 years since the World War.
No, well, that's what I mean. It's not.
I was preparing you were going to say that, 20 years. Why would you concern about it anymore?
No. For something that's.
I didn't wait for you to finish, and I'd already had a preconceived notion. I apologize for that.
Yeah. Fuck you. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't let you finish your statement before I interrupted. Hi, Crimson.
Yeah, I mean, 20 years to have to deal with something that could have been world-ending once before is not a long time to just be oh yeah, it's never gonna happen again. No. Give it a couple hundred maybe.
Yeah, when people are getting awakened with godlike powers, this shit, and then he turns into the giant monster, and there's still 8 fucking vats labeled Akira. Yeah, that's not a great sign. When he could take down all of Neo Tokyo by himself.
With probably one hand.
I do like some of the characters. I like Kaneda as a character a lot. I think he's cool as shit. Tetsuo annoys the fuck out of me. The guy that actually became Akira.
Yeah.
Wait. What?
The guy that basically turned into the giant monster.
The red cape.
Oh, he didn't become Akira. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I don't like that guy either.
He knows the
Akira
fuck
was
out.
his own separate entity. He
Yeah.
just had what they call Akira's powers, which is just
Yeah.
The horror music they played was really fucking cool.
I don't remember any of the music.
It was not necessarily just the music too. It's like just the sound effects. It had very much of an '80s horror vibe.
Yeah.
That scene that was so fucking gross.
I mean,
Dude,
it's
All
to
the
be
little
expected
fucking
from
toes
a
sticking out.
it's to be expected from a rated R anime is you're gonna get some gruesomeness and some weird
I've
shit.
seen like scenes of it, like on TikTok or like platforms before. I was like, I want to watch this movie. And I just never have. But it grossed me out watching it. But like I knew it was about to happen. As soon as I saw his arm attached to the chair, I was like, oh, this is the moment. I had like internal grossness in my head.
Yeah.
But it was just so fucking weird looking. Like, why did he turn into a giant baby?
That's a great question.
Turn into a giant baby. Maybe he grows up and becomes bigger. He turns into a giant man later.
Like, I also want to know, like, what would have happened if they just let him loose? You know what I mean?
The end of the world, probably.
Yeah.
You think so?
Most likely. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know. I kind of want to watch a YouTube video on a deep dive of this fucking show.
Or just let Zara talk about it for 20 minutes straight.
I could.
Honestly,
I'll
yeah.
ask him about it next Friday when we play Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, there you go.
We have 3 bosses left.
I don't know what else to say about this movie. It was weird. It wasn't the best. It did create one. I mean, it did give us one of the
Most iconic fucking scenes.
yeah, and it gave us anime in the West, but it does not hold up to today. Like back then, maybe. Today, no.
Stupidly unique.
Stupidly unique. Yes, I will agree with you on that. But as a whole,
Like, it's really easy to track its impact on cartoons, anime, and just environments of different shows. Like, we don't get Cyberpunk Edge Runners without Akira.
ooh, you got a point there.
I have a...
Yeah.
I haven't seen many 80s cartoons or like fucking just
Anime. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of 80s cartoons because I've watched a lot of like Looney Tunes stuff, and I think those are 80s.
Tunes was way before
Just
the
like
80s.
old.
Yeah, but
cartoons.
like Pop Named Scooby Doo, Baby
okay.
Looney
just
Tunes,
like
stuff
a
like
lot
that.
of old 80s cartoons. And
Yeah,
so
like late 80s, early 90s shit is what we grew up with.
I'm in a weird spot with animation right now. Some spots I'm kind of like, I don't like it, but then the scenes where the gruesomeness comes, I'm gonna give it pretty high for its time.
I try to keep that into thought process of...
That's why I was like,
Yeah, same with what we did with like Princess Mononoke and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The animation isn't as crisp as it is now, but like to think of what they were using at the time, which is crazy to think it's like, oh, it's only like 25 years ago. And we're just like, the technology at the time, when we usually use that for like the 1800s.
yeah, right.
But just to
feel
think
like
of how much animation and shit has come.
I feel like the animation for that time period for this movie, from stuff I remember seeing, I'm probably just blowing smoke out of my own mouth right now. That was actually really good, especially for the gruesome scenes.
Well, because think about like old Dragon Ball and old Dragon Ball Z. That would have been like around the same time.
I feel like this is way better than that.
Yeah, it also had a higher budget because it was a movie.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I think
I'm comfortable with what I'm giving it right now.
I love the art style on it. Like you mentioned, the environment and like how the city is drawn, cool as shit.
That's
the
fair.
character design itself, not great, but like I'm saying, like the city reminds me so much of Batman Beyond. Like just the reds and the blacks and how they're used.
Yeah.
Is really cool. And that's one of the things I like about the red cape is it fucking stands out. Mm-hmm. And it has a really cool, like, just a flush of color.
Yeah.
I still think fucking Tetsuo is stupid, but
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't
hungry.
think the storyline itself is what sets Akira apart. I think it's the way that it was made.
Yes.
The environment, this shows how long that fucking Johnny and Bosch has been around. He's the main character.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah, he was.
He's Kanade. Now, the one we watched on Crunchyroll is not the original recording.
I watched it on Hulu.
But if it was Johnny Young Bosch, not the original recording. The original recording is from 1989. The re-recording that is on most platforms is from 2001. But still, 23 years since it was released.
Why did they re-record it?
I don't have a good answer on it. I don't know why. But I also am like, I don't think he's been fucking voice acting for almost 40 years.
No. There's no way.
Yeah. But either way, still really fucking cool. I love Johnny Bosch. He's always going to bump up my VA performance rating just because he's always good.
Yeah.
Always good.
Yeah.
Even Jonathan Joestar, always good.
I got nothing else to say about this show. It was, like I said, I thought it was very mid. I personally did not like it. I do unfortunately have to rewatch it again, but I
do unfortunately.
I probably won't plan to rewatch it again anytime soon.
Yeah. It's a technical marvel for its time. That some of that stuff holds up, but yeah, the story and stuff is not.
It's not good.
I won't say it's not good. I just don't think it's our cup of tea.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because, like, I enjoy the plot of it a lot, but I think the world building and character development's kind of shit.
Yes.
Which,
I can agree with that.
In a movie that takes place over the span of a couple of days, yeah, I can understand the character development not being good, because that's not the point of the film.
Yeah. The point of the film is pretty colors.
Traumatized.
Fuck shit up.
Monster. Yeah.
Monster go bird.
All right. I'm ready to go
Same.
with ratings. I go first because it was mine. It's been a while since we fucking recorded.
I know.
My God.
Okay, so personal enjoyment, I gave it a 6. Like I said, I think I enjoyed it the first time I watched it more. But overall, I still think it's a solid film. And I fucking love the animation and shit in this movie. Animation, I gave an 8 because of the time it's from, and that some of that aspect still holds up and is really cool. And I think some of the horror animation is better in this than some of the horror anime we've actually watched.
Corpse Party.
Yeah, Corpse Party was trash. Character development, I gave a 3. World building, I gave a 5. Because I do like that we get some of the interactions with some of the leaders and stuff like that of how Neo Tokyo operates. But outside of that, it's really confusing of how everything kind of comes together. Mm-hmm. Soundtrack, I gave an 8 just because I like the horror music. And soundtrack, I gave a 7. That overall it is pretty solid, but I don't think there's anything standoutish of most of the actual music itself. Plot, I gave a 7. It's kind of the same stuff. I think the way everything comes together is super interesting. VA performance, a 7. I really like the voice acting in this show. Kaneda, Tetsuo, and Kei especially. Some of the side characters are annoying. Like when the one guy dies, it's like, I can't believe he's dead. It just annoyed me.
Oh, yeah.
One of Liz's favorite moments was, discipline, 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 discipline. Just smacking all these motherfuckers.
Arcel, I gave a 9. Kind of talked the fucking design of the environment and atmosphere and shit was really cool. Uniqueness is easily a 10 for me. Because like I already established, most of the stuff that we would consider like it
comes from this.
Yes. And then recommendability, I gave a 4. Even though I'm the one that recommended and assigned it.
You would not do it again.
Yeah, I need just to double check because I changed one of my scores at the last second.
As a hush falls over the audience.
You just start on yours.
Okay. Personal enjoyment for me, I gave a 6. There were some things in it that I thought were good, but I did not
My
like
total's
it.
66.
66 for your total? Okay. Animation, I gave a 7. You started talking more about it, and it started kind of making more sense in my head, so I bumped it up quite a bit from what it was before. Character development, I gave a 5. Enough said. Soundtrack and world building, I gave both 7s. I enjoyed the soundtrack. I thought it was pretty good for the movie. World building itself confused me quite a bit at times, but it looked cool. Plot, I gave a 6, and I think that's generous. VA performance, I gave a 7. I thought that there were moments where the VA performance I thought wasn't the best, but overall throughout the movie it wasn't horrible. Art style, I gave an 8, kind of like what I said earlier. Frankly, you talked me up into bumping it. Uniqueness, I also gave a 10 because you also convinced me. Recommendation, I gave a 4. So my total is 67.
Bet. Right. For me, Wiki, my thing for Akira. Also, I'm super good. I finally got to see the scene where that meme's from.
Oh, yeah.
Super good. I got to see that. Person development, I gave a 7. Animation, I gave an 8. Character development, I gave a 4. Soundtrack, I gave a 6. World building, I gave a 6. Plot, I gave a 6. Voice acting performance, I gave a 7. Art style, I gave an 8. Strictly because of the atmosphere. The people's the one that dropped it down 2 points.
That's fair.
Uniqueness, I gave a 9. And recommendability, I gave an 8 for a total of 69.
Nice.
Reason why recommendability is so high is yes, it was a movie kind of like meh, but also it's a classic, and I do feel like people should watch it regardless if it's a meh movie. It is a classic movie, so you should watch it.
That's fair.
So that puts our average for just the three of us without Zario's input in at 67.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, that will be subject to change when we have him on and he gives us his review.
I miss him.
Thank you so much for coming on and listening, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day.
All right, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Anime assignment?
Oh, it is gonna be fucking second season 2 of Radiant.
Second season 2?
Oh my
There's
God.
a second one! Oh my god!
Season 2 of Radiant.
Oh my god, it's not even part 1, part 2. It's second season 2.
Jack Wang.
Man, this is some AOT shit going on.
Jack Wang.
Bye, Jason Derulo.
Goodbye.
All right.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Weekly Weebs podcast.
We'll be back next week with more exciting anime talk.
Make sure to join us every show to stay up to date with what's going on in the world of anime. We'll catch you next time.